Is it wrong for your wife or your spouse or baby mother to come in while the father is scolding the child or disciplining the child? Is it wrong for her to come in and interrupt that session at that particular time, or should she wait to later to talk to the husband or the father or whoever about the action he has taken? What's your thoughts on that?
So, on the surface, I want to say yes, it is wrong for her to object publicly in front of the kids. I will also say it also depends on the situation, because I do have a certain, if the father is going down an unhealthy road as far as abuse and assault and demeaning the kid and stuff like that, yeah, she does have a right to step in. But if it's just discipline, healthy discipline, no. If she objects, she just wait till the kid is out of sight, out of an earshot, and then voice it or did discuss it. Now, the next question will be, what is healthy versus non-healthy?
Mm.
Right? That is something you guys should have talked about a while ago. That is something maybe you talk about while you're dating, while you're courting each other.
Yeah.
So it's something you talk about before kids, right? Do's and don'ts. But if it is going down an unhealthy road, yeah, because remember, us men are not perfect. We are far from perfect. And I do not believe in having a meek woman, a meek wife, a meek mother of my child that is so timid she sits in a corner waiting for orders. I do not believe in that. But I do believe in that respect factor of it. But I will leave room in case the man goes out of pocket for her to jump in and defend the kid. Because at the end of the day, it is the kid that comes first. And if that guy or father or husband is losing his temper, she does have an obligation to step in there and then.
I agree 100%. Um, the way I look at it is, um, regardless is verbal or physical, at some point there's a way that some things need to be tailored back. Now, I can agree that it is good for a healthy argument, but a healthy argument is different when is the man and woman are having an argument and the kid sees that. You know what I'm saying? Because he's hoping that when y'all have that argument, y'all also can wrap it up on both of y'all agreeing to something in front of the kid. The other part of it is if I'm disciplining my son verbally and telling him something, and his mom step in and say, "Don't tell him he can't do that," or coming up with excuses for him, that's a no-no. 100% no-no in my book, because that's how kids would find out and they could start pinning both of us against each other. Now, after I say everything that I said to the kid, and she have an issue with what I said or whatever case may be, then she talked to me outside of the kid. But at that moment, ain't no need for you to jump in on that.
Do you have exceptions to that?
The exception to the rule is if I was to berate the kid, as in calling him all types of names that's uncalled for, or what none of that stuff is called for. That right there, she could be like, "Hey, don't use those type of words towards him or something like that." That's what need to be said. So those are the exceptions to the rule.
Now, if so, let's say you discipline the kid, she disagrees. She waits until the kid is out of sight, and she brings it up to you, just you two. What is your response to her? Is she still wrong?
No, I will ask her. In my opinion, I will ask her, "What did I say? What did I say that was wrong?" I would need to know what she,
Yeah.
I would need to know what in particular things she's talking about. Because then again, she could just not like the whole message and be like, listen. Then if she don't like the whole message, depends on what it is. Because obviously, I'm just speaking in general. If she don't like the whole message, be like, well, then let me just say like this. That's my way of going by doing it. And if you don't like it, then just walk away. And when you have a chance to talk to them, you do it the way you want to go by doing it.
So I guess I would let me see.
Careful.
I guess I would disagree with that part of it. The not that walking away, but I would disagree with the allowing her to say to the kid a different message that is not in uniform with your message.
No, I'm not saying different. Well, I don't know what she would say. All I'm saying is like, if she like the way I say, she go talk to him, but I said what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying it that way. So I don't know what she said because because here's the thing: if the way I'm thinking about the question or the way I'm thinking about the situation is, she may or may not be aware of what's going on, and she just jumping in. But if she's already on the agreement of what we fussed him about, then she won't be saying nothing. You
Of course,
get what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Of course.
But if she just walking in on that situation and then she come back and say, hey, what was that about? And I explained to her and she'd be like, well, I'm gonna go talk to him. Like I said, that's her going to talk to him, have a way she gonna go talk to him. You know what I'm saying?
But the message is still the same.
It should be still the same. Now, if she go back door, then that once again, that's how you create issues. That's how you create problems.
Yeah.
You know, because another thing I always say, even when I was dating and stuff like that, or even to my wife, if something that I said wrong or something that I did wrong, and I go back and rethink about it, I don't need you to go back and tell them. I'll go back and tell them. For example, if let me see, a good example would be if I wouldn't tell a kid something and I come to find out later on that I was wrong based off the information, then I would go back and apologize to the kid. Be like, listen, I just found out some other information that I wasn't privy to, and I want to apologize. That's my fault. I apologize for saying such and such or doing such and that. I did not know, and I come to apologize for you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying on that note or something like that.
And you know what I've done too in certain situations. We're talking about something. I can't remember the topic what it was.
Oh man, come on, you got to remember the topic. That's some good stuff there.
But anyway, I told them. So no, I got on them. But it was a topic whereby I wanted it to move past yelling. I wanted them to fully understand the danger in what I was trying to say, right? Because it was one of those life lesson moments. And I actually I got them to do some research on it. They went online, all three of them. They did the research, and I asked them, "Come back and tell me what you found." And they said, "You were right. You were right, Dad. We didn't see it that way because we thought it was a harmless situation, but it turns out it was a big deal."
Yeah, like I'm glad you say that because the last conversation I had with mine was getting on social media and mother advocating for the kid to get on social media, and I don't want him on social media. So she's arguing at me, and I'm still saying no. But I don't know if he was afraid to come talk to me about it or not. But I have asked, "Are you ever afraid to come talk to me?" And he said no. So, but his mom was advocating for him to get on social media. I said, well, if you want him on social media so bad, tell him to write me a paper on why he want to get on social media and the dangers of being on social media. Right? Her response was, "You doing too much." I'm like, I'm doing too much. I'm getting him to understand. First of all, explain to me why he need to get on so bad and understand what you're getting yourself into. And her argument was, as parents, we here let him get on social media now, so we can navigate him and show him the ropes. I say, first of all, I'm not even on social media like that, and what make you think that he will come to us to learn how to navigate social media compared to going through his friends? I say,
Absolutely.
because he ain't come to us in anything that's important right now in his life. So he wrote the paper. I read it. There's some things that I highlighted in there that I want to talk to him about. And after we had the conversation, he said, I understand, Dad, where you're coming from, and I understand the danger of that stuff, but I want to use this as a way of communicating with my friends. And I told him, I said, son, I'm going to let you get on there. But I'm going to tell you right now, if that's the only way you communicate with your friends, then they're not your friends. But have at it. So we came to understanding. He understand with the assignment what I was trying to get him to see and understand. And I allow him to move forward. But
the danger.
but she looked at it as like I'm doing too much, got him writing papers and all that kind of stuff like that. But I'm only strengthening his writing skills and also strengthening his presentation. Because most jobs, depends on what you go into, you have to present. You got to present yourself physically, or you got to present yourself on paper.
Yeah.
Sometimes some people got both. Sometimes some people got one, or even none. But that's the way I look at it, as in, because I know I'm terrible at presenting myself on paper, but I can present myself physically. So that's my way of trying to help him strengthening one of the things that I lacked of.
Yeah, makes sense. There's no need for both y'all to make the same mistake.
Exactly, but that's the way I go about doing it. Some people is like, man, you extreme, you're extreme parent. That may be looking extreme to some people.
My only thing is the obligation to the advantage, because you got to remember, others are doing it, other cultures, other groups, and if we are to keep up, we've got to in some way follow suit. We cannot give them too much ground ahead of us, being held to these traditional things of the strict upbringing. Yeah, I understand. We want to be disciplined. We want to have our kids out there prepared for everything in life, but it cannot be to the detriment to keep up with their peers. Otherwise, we will have what we have now. And as a group, we'll be looking around talking about how come we don't own anything? Well, let's look at our process as far as how we raise our kids. And it will point to how come we don't own anything. Because we keep feeding our kids to the shark and recycling. Every single generation has to fend for themselves, while everybody else, it's not like that. One generation is providing for the next generation, and then that generation providing for the next one, while with our generation, within our group, it's a constant repeat. And we're not going to win or get ahead if we're constantly in repeat. So when we're raising our kids, it's not just raising a kid. It's raising a kid with a purpose with the other groups, to compete with the other groups. So if the other groups are busting their ass off to give their kids, above water with $1 million, we've got to find a way to do the same thing. We got to keep up and give our kids an advantage. In my opinion, outside of any type of religious text or anything like that, I think it is a natural obligation, responsibility we have as parents. Now, if you want to talk about the limitation and an exception to it, okay, fine. But it has to start with, how are we going to give our kids an advantage?
With that being said, please like and subscribe, and I'll chat with you later. Thank you.